Hi, I'm Monica Packer from About Progress, and this is a Growth Spurt, a bite-sized way you can increase your progress today. I can harp all the livelong day about how households need to better share in the invisible labor required to keep families running, the kind of labor that women largely carry. I've coached several women throughout the years on this very topic, and I can tell you that it is possible to share in the mental and physical loads that you take on, from keeping the toilet paper stocked to signing up kids for spring sports. It largely comes down to two big things to make this happen. One, communication. Two, acceptance. I'm not going to touch on the first today, communication, as that merits a whole Monday episode at very least, but don't worry, it is in the works. I do want to spend this growth spurt talking about the second, acceptance, and it may not be the type of acceptance you are expecting. In December, I was feeling quite run down. Between all the invisible labor that celebrating Christmas entails, to trying to balance family and squeeze in my work to the very cracks of my day, I had been going on for months of not being able to practice what I preach very well. I wasn't really on my own list, at least not in the ways that moved past the most basic forms of self-care, from ensuring I was trying to sleep and to move my body. But even with those baselines in place, I'm pretty sure you could hear the raggedness in my voice. I just felt so run down and worn down. I know I heard that same raggedness in many of my friends' voices. And thanks to having a husband who is pretty darn good at noticing things, Brad could tell that I was breaking apart at my mental seams. I was on the tail end of working as fast as I could during nap time when I got a text from Airbnb saying that my stay was booked for a few days away that coming Friday. Luckily, before I canceled the credit card, I had the good sense to ask Brad if he knew what that text was about. And he said to me, "Mon, I booked you a night in a hotel." A Friday, the weekend before Christmas. I was already behind on everything from wrapping gifts to wrapping up work for the year. It felt like, honestly, a terrible time for me to take the night off from my responsibilities and for my family. Even considering it made me feel guilty. It would put so much on Brad, and it wasn't like he was having a walk in the park all day, every day. And while it was a very affordable studio apartment that he booked for me, it was still money, and it was money that could have gone towards gifts for other people or even to make a donation somewhere. With Brad's understanding support, I stewed over whether or not I should go for days. And as I went back and forth, I kept getting this thought: let him do this for you. So I did. I accepted Brad's offering. However seemingly ill-timed or imperfectly done, I accepted it. And the morning after my stay, when my one-car family drove up to the front of the apartment complex to pick me up, I was really glad that I had accepted it. Here's the thing. Communicating with your spouse, your kids, your housemates if you're not married and with children, communicating with those in your home is half the battle to sharing the loads you bear. But it will do you absolutely no good if you are not willing to accept their offerings. In better distributing your work, are you prepared for people to do things in ways you would not like? Are you willing for tasks to be executed differently than you would prefer, than you would do it yourself? Are you able to lean in, to accept an offered hand when it's given, however ill-timed or imperfectly accomplished? This step, to accept others' offerings, is honestly even more of a holdup for the women I work with than their family being willing to do their bit. So I really wanted to push that for you today. If someone is extending a hand, take it. It's time for you to get the support you need. And to do that, it's also time for you to let them do things for you. It's time for you to accept their offerings. That's it for the Growth Spurt this week. I now want to do a progressor spotlight. I want to spotlight the Britta Connor. That's her handle on Instagram. I recently shared an episode with Sharon McMahon about how it's never too late, never too small. And when I did a post on Instagram where I shared about how we can tend to feel like we're failures if we haven't hit 30 before 30 lists. And if we're 38 years old, like I am, we might as well quit now. And she wrote, quote, "I believed that for too long and then decided to believe in myself at 41. Best decision ever," unquote. I'm dying to know how she chose to believe in herself and what that entailed. So, Britta, I just wanted to spotlight you for doing so, and thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you so much for listening. Now go and do something with what you learned today.